If the Utah Jazz get a chance to draft Dylan Harper, should they?
Now, I mentioned on a previous episode when we talked about who the Jazz should draft and, what the options that the Jazz would have in that spot. And I said, there's a good chance that Cooper Flagg may not be the number one draft pick this year.
Yeah.
And if the Jazz do get that opportunity, there's a chance there that the Jazz could draft Dylan Harper. Have you heard about this?
I have heard about this.
So former NBA star Ron Harper voiced his strong opposition to this happening. Harper made a comment on social media saying that a trade would happen if the Utah Jazz selected Dylan in the 2025 NBA draft. This statement was likely influenced by Harper's own negative experience with the Jazz when he played against the NBA Finals against the Charlotte Bulls. However, Harper did later clarify on social media that he was just joking and that Dylan can make his own decisions about his future team. Dylan is a standout freshman at Rutgers and is currently projected to be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft. He has impressed several NBA scouts, and a lot of folks are saying he could potentially be the number 1 overall pick this summer. He's averaging 23.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.6 assists while shooting 51.1% from the field in his first 8 college games. Yeah, despite the initial comments, Harper did emphasize that he did not control his son's career. What do you have on this, man?
Yeah, I mean, Harper he's a 6'6" freshman that's playing at Rutgers. The kid's obviously having a phenomenal season. Projected to go top 3 as of right now. If the draft happened today, the Utah Jazz are number 3. There's a big chance that obviously the Jazz are potentially looking at this. The tweet that this was made on said specifically that Ron Harper didn't want to come to Utah a few years ago. That person actually mixed up with Derek Harper from the Lakers that said, would you go play in Utah?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that was mixed up with Derek Harper, not Ron Harper. So I did want to clarify that. As you read through it, it's not the same person that they're comparing it to. Ron Harper, this guy was a stud basketball player. I mean, he was the 8th overall pick in the 1986 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He won 5 NBA championships, 3 with the Bulls during the Michael Jordan era, where obviously in 2 of those, they did take down the Jazz. And then, 2 with the Lakers during the Kobe and Shaq era. So Ron Harper is an NBA legend, and there's nothing bad to be said about him until he started dissing on the Jazz and saying there would be a trade happen at the Jazz to take him. And I quote, his exact words were, "I don't control my son or the NBA team draft board. I see pictures of a few teams that I would want him on, but it's not my career." He's not worried about where his son gets taken. The fact is, if your son's going to be drafted by an NBA team, you just let them go to the NBA.
Yeah,
there's going to be a choice in every single player's career where they get to choose where they go.
Yeah, he did mention he didn't exactly have a good experience here in Utah.
But I think a lot of that has definitely changed. I think the fan base has changed. I think the players changed. I think if Dylan Harper was to call Jordan Clarkson, who is a great person in the NBA community, and ask him, what do you love about Utah? I think Jordan Clarkson would give him multiple reasons to want to come here, play basketball. And the fact is there's nothing you're going to do. If the Jazz draft you, you're going to demand a trade. Well, try doing that right. Yeah, but try doing that right out the gate, right? All you're going to do is tarnish your own name. You go to play where you play.
Yeah. So do you think the Jazz take the option to draft this guy if they get a chance?
I think if he's the best available player, yeah, I think you absolutely draft him.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think you let what a father of a player tweets on on the X, whatever you want to call it, decide what you're going to do with your draft pick. Obviously, the Jazz have a great track record of getting players to the point where when they go to sign that free agent contract, they were put in their best position to win here. Name a single NBA free agent that left here, with the exception of Paul Millsap in the last 20 years, that actually performed better outside of Utah than they did inside.
Pretty rare.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't ask Donovan Mitchell how his experience was here in Utah.
And also the fact is you've got a young coach in Will Hardy that is great at developing players. He's making our players better with each year. He's obviously been handed a very crappy deck of expectations from the Jazz brass. Like, hey, we can't win as much as you're coaching these guys to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is going to come a point when you turn it loose and say, hey, we're ready. Like, we've got enough players. Let's win some ball games here.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be exactly the guy we needed in those situations.
Yeah, it was a hard realization when they actually said, when Ryan Smith said, hey, let's go out big game hunting. Let's get somebody in here. And it didn't work out. It's been proven this team does need to build from the draft. And I just hope that it's a quicker turnaround than it isn't. I mean, I don't know. There's a little bit of conspiracy theory because you can't really control who you draft, but isn't it a little interesting that Ryan Smith is paying $5 million for a player that just committed to BYU? They could potentially be the number one pick in the NBA draft in 2025. Sorry, 2026.
And if the Utah Jazz have the number one pick.
And if the Utah Jazz have the number one pick. So
just
I'm just saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Anyway, did you see what happened with Donovan Mitchell? He FaceTimed Juan Soto.
I did see that.
Congratulating him going to the Mets.
Yeah.
You know?
Wasn't he with Juan Soto when he got the contract? I saw a
was.
video of him like pouring. I thought it was him pouring champagne all over Soto.
I don't know. I just saw them FaceTiming.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what that was.
Maybe it was a different one.
Yeah. Very interesting. But
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting time to pivot on over, shall we? From McKinley Cutler. Man, what a dumpster fire. I'm assuming you're talking about the Jazz season. And yeah, it kind of is. But it's also kind of fun to kind of watch this as it's progressing and
unfolding. Yeah.
We've never. This is uncharted territory for us Utah Jazz fans. We've never been in a position where in a long-term rebuild where you had those Carlos Arroyo, years, and then you had, your years where you had what's his name, Al Jefferson, which he was Big Al, great player, but yeah,
dude, I was so excited when we got Big Al.
Yeah, it was like 2 years, and also we were back in the playoffs again. So it's a little different this time around. Never been this bad for this long, so it's definitely going to be interesting. Hardy is a good coach. Last 2 years, he has won too many games. Glad he is on board with the tank. We all know why he called that timeout. Exactly. Still think the flag is number one. Harper is playing a cupcake schedule with
Flag is playing much better competition. Yeah.
And the thing is,
an ACC schedule for Duke is a little more is a touch different than playing for Rutgers.
Yeah. The big thing about that is that Harper is very much a proven offensive talent.
Yeah.
He is not what Cooper Flag is. He is going to be expected to do more on defense.
He can do it all.
He can shoot. He can play make. So, there's going to be a little bit. And he's always going to be the number one option for the best defender on the other team. They're going to be scheming around him versus, not so much for Harper. So, anyway, good point there. Great point for sure. But once again, folks, we did hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you've not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to y'all. So please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on that giveaway, and smash that like button for your boy AJ.
Boom, do it. Do it. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio. Make sure you check it out, rate it, review it. We appreciate all your guys' engagement on them.
Absolutely. Slap us some engagement on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this in the background,
do it.
Smack like. And if you're here on the live stream as you're leaving, please hit that like button on your way out. That really helps out the algorithm and lets more people join us on the live stream. We'd love to hear from you guys, and keep jumping in the comments. We'd love to hear from you again. With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ, and this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.